How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Going to talk about something a little different right now. We're going to talk about a company and bad customer service. It drives me nuts with some of these companies. They just, I don't know, they just don't get it. In fact, I just talked to a customer earlier who came in and was like, yeah, you should talk about it. Should put that warning out there because we all have experienced this with this company. And what company is it? It's Electro Company. They make kits for electric bikes, controllers, motors, batteries. They put it all together, have their own system. I guess their controllers work with their motor and battery, but no one else's, and stuff like that, which I did not know of at the beginning, and how I know that, and then that makes me not like them that much more, because I'm all for right to repair and all that good stuff. So what happened with Electro Company that has me doing this video? Well, it's basically a lack of customer service. It's basically a lack of support for their dealers. Like, I'm a dealer. It would be nice if we had a phone number so we could call you and not try to rely on email, which Stephanie apparently takes a lot of time, a week to get to. Do you guys get that much email? If you get that much email, maybe you need to hire more than one person or have more than one person look at your company email to address questions and kind of pick through them and decide which ones you can easily resolve, which are questions, this and that, what are customer emails versus dealer emails, and dealers should probably have their own specific email address. We're emailing you, so you could have just somebody sit down and be like, here, you need to spend the next 2 hours and go through these emails and address these problems and concerns and get those resolved right away for your dealers, because having a good dealer network helps you sell more product. When I can't sell you your product because of customer service, well, you're not selling more product, we're not making any money, so it doesn't benefit anybody. So what happened? So the first tall tale sign was when we signed up to be a dealer, and I had a customer here, he wanted something. I was like, yeah, we'll sign up. I didn't think it would be that big of a deal, but it was at that time, and that should have been the first red flag. I was like, I have a customer here, he wants to pay cash only type guy, and this is what he wants. And they were like, well, the dealer portal's not up yet, and this and that, and you need to sign the dealer agreement. I was like, hey, can you at least do a favor? I have a customer here who wants your product. He only deals in cash. So can you just make an exception and sell me that product? Leave me some room. You don't even have to tell me the real numbers of what your costs are or anything like that. Just sell me this kit and give me a price. I'll tell him, he'll pay, and I'll pay you, and we'll get that order. Just do me a one-time favor so we can sell that. I'm a real shop. Here's my YouTube, here's my shop, here's pictures of the shop, here's videos of the shop. This is a real shop. It's not like I'm faking this somehow to save some money on your kit. I don't know. Whatever. I thought that was odd, but wasn't the hugest deal, right? It was just odd that I have a customer here and you're willing to let this go. It took a long time. Luckily, this customer only deals in cash, so he had no choice but to wait. So he waited. We got signed up. Hey, we're signed up. He came in, he ordered, we ordered. It was all good. In fact, even got it in quicker than the time frame that they were originally claiming. So I was like, well, that's good. Maybe they estimate high. That way it always looks good. If I say 6 weeks and I get it to you in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, wow, hey, you got it to me quicker than what you're saying on your site. That's cool. I was like, well, maybe that's how they run things. That's good. That's always good to do. Tell somebody 10 weeks, but if you get it to them in 5 weeks, man, you're like a god, because they were prepared to spend the money. They were prepared to wait the time, but now you got it. So he got the product. All was good. Next issue comes around Christmas time, and we had ordered 2 kits. And then like a week later or a couple weeks later, they decided to put their kits on sale for lower than what the dealer cost was. What the fuck? So it means we can't sell anything at Christmas because you're advertising to your customers directly a lower price than the dealers who you sold stuff to. So we can't sell anything. So we're like, okay, no one's going to buy from us in December. Probably November too. I forget the exact time frame, but in there, we can't sell anything because they lowered their cost. Okay, it is what it is, right? So that also kind of pissed us off, but okay, so be, whatever. So that's how they're going to play that game. Now we know. Last straw. Same customer comes in, wants to buy just a controller. I'm like, okay, here's the price. You know, I just look up quickly on their website. Here's the price. Here's price with tax. Bada boom, bada bing. I actually forgot to add shipping in there because I forgot Electro Co. nickels and dimes you and charges you shipping. Now I get it on batteries because batteries are pretty heavy, right? But this was just a controller. I'm like, yeah, they'll probably going to want to charge something on shipping. Whatever. I'll probably eat that, or maybe I'll bring it up and talk to the customer and see if, you know, he tosses me like 15 bucks or help with shipping or something. You know, we're saying, oh, I forgot they did that on their stupid site because nothing is fucking clear on the dealer portal. And that's when it happened. I went on the dealer portal after the customer left. I'm like, wait, I don't see this kit there. Why isn't this there? Why isn't this controller listed? Sorry, it's not a kit, a controller. It was just a single controller, the Noisy Cricket. Why isn't the Noisy Cricket listed on the dealer portal? What the F, you know? It's like, it's not easy to find stuff on their dealer portal or even their normal website, but the dealer portal especially is not easy. So I'm like, maybe I'm just missing it. Let me go ahead and email them and say, hey, can't find it. Don't know if I'm just being dumb. Can't find it. And they eventually come back. It takes about a few days for them to come back to me. And basically they said it's a do-yourselfer kit. We don't have dealers sell those because you'll get confused and not know it has to work with our motor and battery. If the customer doesn't have that, then it's not going to work for them. They can't just buy the Noisy Cricket. I'm like, oh, well, that explains a lot about your kits. But also, you know, hey, let me check. I call the customer. I'm like, hey, man, is this what you really need? Because yeah, I have everything else. That's just what I need. I have everything Electro Co. I just need the Noisy Cricket controller. So I email right back to Stephanie. I'm like, yes, he wants that. Just invoice me. Don't hear anything. Some time goes by, a couple days, I think. At this time, it's like a week. And I started thinking, well, maybe I just want it sent to the customer directly so he's not having to wait for it here, there. And so I'm like, is that a possibility? I don't hear anything on that either. In the meantime, I talk to the customer. The customer's like, yeah, my mail service isn't that good, so can you just order to the shop? And I'm like, yep, that's fine. So no, not a problem. I still haven't heard back from Stephanie emails. And then that was the 13th. Then the Friday, the Saturday, Sunday, and the Monday was a holiday. Hadn't heard anything in that time frame. Nothing. Not at all. So on Tuesday, I talked with my business partner, Aaron. I'm like, hey, this is what I'm going to do, man. I'm going to just fire them if I don't have anything in email on Tuesday. I wait until around 11, I think it was, maybe 10, 11. And I sent them an email. I'm like, hey, yeah, you're making me look bad because I haven't got an invoice. I haven't received any more information from you as far as, are you sending me an invoice? How am I paying this? Because if it's just a one-time thing and, you know, they had to ask somebody if they could sell it outside of the kit and this and that. I mean, time has gone on now. We're like a week and a half into this. It's 6 to 8 week was lead time for ordering on this Noisy Cricket controller. Well, it's going to now be more like a 10 to 12 week by the time we go through all these emails. So I just basically said, look, I cannot do business with you guys if you cannot provide a phone number and, if nothing else, be responsive to your emails. I heard Electro Co. was pretty small, so maybe it's just a handful of people, but it all seems like they have their thumbs up their asses because they're not responding to their dealers. Why even have dealers if you're not going to support them? Because we have a customer here now. People want to buy things now. That's why they come in. If they can't buy it now, they might as well just order directly through you guys. It makes no sense to even have a dealer network if you're not going to support your dealers. It doesn't make sense if you're not going to have a phone number or a dedicated email address that I can email you and be like, hey, you know, what's going on? You know, we have this issue. And at least get a high turnaround, like within an hour. Like when Stephanie would email me and I would respond back like, hey, are you sending the invoice? It just disappeared. It just, who knows? I don't know. Yeah. Like, in the meantime, I have the customer's money, $671 in cash. I don't want to put it in the bank. I'm like, oh, hold on to it. So I purposely did hold on to it for this reason because I figured this was going to go south. So it did. I had to fire Electro Company because they absolutely suck when it comes to customer service. I don't want that here in my shop because it makes me look bad. And that's not cool. When you make your dealer look bad because you don't provide good dealer support, then why am I selling your product? Why am I worried about this over making, I don't know, does that cost people $50, let's say. I'm not going to worry about $50 with this company. I don't have that many people coming in here and being like Electro Company. In fact, I have more people telling me about other brands that are better than Electro Company. So I have to kind of research that. I don't want to just blot out various people online. But if you all watching this video because you've had an issue with Electro Company, feel free to put alternatives down below so people can see a list of other places to order controllers, motors, kits, custom batteries, all that good stuff. Let me know down below. I'll kind of look at it. If maybe I'll make a pinned comment and start listing these websites and what have you. And these people can, instead of going to Electro Company or instead of dealing with a dealer, an Electro Company and this and that and worry about these long lead times, just go direct to that source. Is it taking money out of my mouth, if you will? No, not really, because at the end of the day, I'm just going to have angry customers. And I don't want angry customers because I don't want people coming in here blaming me for something that I have no control over. Imagine if that ended up playing out and this whole week goes by and then they send me an invoice and then I pay. So you figure 6 to 8 weeks, let's figure 8 weeks, the max that they were saying, and add 2 more weeks on that. Now we're up to 10 weeks. Does the customer really want to wait 10 weeks? Is that customer, if they wanted to be the certain person that wanted a refund because it wasn't in the 6 to 8 week time frame, expect a refund, deserve a refund? I don't know. And then that puts me in a predicament because I'm the one dealing with the cash. I've already paid Electro Company. You know they're not going to give me my money back because they don't seem to give a shit about anybody. And I've heard this from other actually customers. In fact, one today, and I've heard this in the past from various ones, they don't like Electro Company because of the customer service, mainly the customer service. I've heard that their kits are good. I've heard their kits are crappy. I've heard various things on that, but I think a plug and play kit that you can just buy and put on, I think they tend to be okay. They don't tend to be horrible, but if you're not providing customer service and support for your product, and you've always been like this from day one, from what I was told, I don't know, man. I just don't want to deal with you. And that's why I fired you, and I'm letting this be known. So if there's anyone like a shop like ours, I was like, hey, you know, Electro Company, I've heard that name. Let's look into being a dealer for them. Well, now you can see my video and you can be like, well, maybe I don't want to be, or I'm going to go in this very cautiously. And if you get the same red flags that I got off the get-go, just send them that email and say, you're fired because I don't want to deal with you. You're making me look bad. You're making me look bad to my customers. That's not cool. And I can't have that in a business. And not with the amount of money we're talking about I'm making on various things. And then you're going to have a sale and it's going to be below what you had us pay at dealer costs for a kit. That's fucked up. That's fucked up right there. That's really fucked up. We were so pissed about that one. I mean, it's like, really? We just spent hundreds and hundreds more, and then a week later you had a sale, and then we can't factor that into the cost of selling the e-Box 3 because it's, man, that whole e-Box 3 is another story and something I don't want to really get into. They seem good and what have you, but again, I don't like the fact of building a bike like that. And from a dealer perspective, it's a lot of work to build the bike, get the controller in, do this, do that, and then sell it. So you have, if you're a real shop, paying employees versus me, an owner, where I can write my time off. You know, I shouldn't have to, but it can be free time, you know, a little easier. Well, if I had an employee building the bikes, well, that is 15, 20 bucks an hour down the shitter because it might take them an hour, 2 hours to build, especially your first one because it's nothing, no directions, no anything. Like you have an e-Box, do this, do that. It's like, here's a bag of bolts, you figure it out. And then you have to try different ones, which ones go where. And it's annoying. They, you know, Loctite, then take it out, then be like, no, maybe it was this bolt, Loctite it. Oh, well, no, it had to be the other bolt. You know, you're going back and forth because you have no idea. So that means each one is built slightly different too. Anyways, Electro Company, there's other brands out there. Hopefully you all help me by telling me down below in the comments what companies you like to use for your electric dirt bike, pit bike, what have you want to call them, e-bikes, I don't care. What you like to use to order motors, controllers, batteries, and all that. And you know, I'll look into those and maybe we'll carry those down the road or at least have a relationship with them that I can point people to like, hey, you're buying that? Okay, buy XYZ from these people over here. Stay away from Electro Company. It's just my opinion, and my opinion only. Maybe your experience was much different with Electro Company, but that's my opinion coming from just a customer's point of view / dealer's point of view. Y'all take care, stay well, stay safe, and don't use crappy companies.